Howdy, y'all, Moglax Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Man, I tell you what, I don't know what was going on. I assume, let's make some assumptions here. I assume that what has happened is that I updated some drivers, and said drivers needed a computer reboot to reestablish themselves, but I recorded a regularly long episode of 7 Days to Die, and then found out there was no 7 Days to... Well, there was, and it had weird, crackly, robot-y sound when I talked. I mean, it had what I said. I mean, I was there, but I was also going... So nobody wants that, right? So, let's try again. Yep, right. I need, before I head back out, I need some repair kits. I'm out of repair kit. Haven't found any in a while. Forged iron and duct tape. Alright, what have I got? Oh, or I could just take these repair kits. Sweet. Alright, so let's get headed back out and try and find that danged old last machine gun part I need. So where do I want to go though? I've just spent all my time freezing up in here. Although there's a lot of that hasn't been searched through. I feel like I need to go back out and search that some more, right? There's a lot of this place. I'm going to go south. I'm going to go south through the desert and see if that leads to another territory that I might want to explore in. So, yeah. It's PlayStation 5 week. That's exciting to me. I have a PlayStation 5 coming, and I'm excited to try that a little bit. I don't really have any games I'm excited for, but I'm a little excited for the PlayStation 5, I guess. I mean, I have a PlayStation 4. Which I guess I'll move to my bedroom. I do have this TV sitting here that I don't use, and I won't need my PlayStation 4 here in my main room, so I guess my bedroom's getting a PlayStation. Woo! Which is cool, I guess. I mean, there's some TV shows I've been wanting to watch through that I haven't because I'm lazy. And it's a pain in the butt to have to get up and switch discs, regardless of what method I use. I don't have a method close to me. They all involve... I mean, you gotta understand, it's not like I'm just getting out of a chair. It's not like I'm sitting at a computer desk, right? It'd be different if it was just a desk and I just turned my chair and stood up. No, I have to actually move the table that holds my keyboard and mouse and stuff from in front of me so that I can leave the chair I'm in. And then the the DVDs are in an awkward spot. Hey, Coyote. I don't think I've seen one of you before. Well, don't bite me. I was admiring you. Now I got this stupid buzzard on my tail. I'm gonna die. I don't have a lot of hit points here. Maybe I outran it. Nope. Nope, it's back. I'm not sure I can kill this buzzard without dying. Great. Dang it. Who let me leave with my gun unloaded? Yeah. So anyways, I'm a little excited for that. Oh no. Oh no. This is like the worst. So here's the thing. Not only... What? Not only am I not anywhere near my home, but I also have removed my bicycle and put it in storage at home. Oh, geez. I'm just gonna die here again. There's a wolf in there. Oh, you know what though? I did bring some coffee, which maybe will help. Not really. Do you think that was the best place to start to go slow? Right in front of the zombies that look like my father. That's what I see every time I fight those guys. Like, yep, that zombie looks a lot like my dad. Uh, but I never punched his head off. That'd be weird. But yeah. So it's gonna be a trek back home, slow motion, because I have no stamina. Oh, there's a cougar. There's a cougar. It's just cougars everywhere. I was hoping maybe to find a puffer jacket. Next time I find a puffer jacket, I need to make sure that that gets added to the things I'm carrying, because apparently the clothes that I have... Oh, you know what? I did bring this fancy torch here to keep me warm. So, yeah, so I've been really thinking about starting up that D&D game. I've discussed it on here a few times, and that's what most of the episode that I already recorded was about. I did check before I dove into this episode to make sure that it was recording correctly. I rebooted my PC, moved some cables, flicked my microphone. I don't know how that helps anybody, but made me feel better, I guess. And it seemed to be okay. So hopefully it's fine. I hate to have to record again though, because it's getting so late and it takes so long to put out one of these 7 Days to Die episodes. They're massive amounts of data compared to other things, and they take so long to upload. But I love this game, so I keep playing it. Um, but yeah, so I talked to my DM a little bit. He doesn't know what I'm planning. I talked to the other player that we play with, and he knows. He and I have had the conversation that we should also run D&D games so that we don't just have our current DM running every game, because it can be a bit frustrating. And I've been trying to talk him into running a game, and then we would trade off, like, every other week or whatever. And so I was kind of hoping he would do it, but he hasn't done it yet. So I think I'm going to bite the bullet myself. And so I've been trying to figure out what campaign I want to run, and I talked to my DM about, oh man, that dude really wrecked me. Oh, jeez, and then a wolf came in and ate me from behind. Dang it. I wonder if I should pull up this bed and then I will spawn somewhere else when I die. I mean, what are the chances that I'm actually gonna make it home? So let's pull up this bed, and then we'll try again. We'll try. Try and failed? No. Tried and died. Oh yeah, my torch. So, I asked him what version of Roll20, because that's the platform we play on, he was using, and told me he was playing on the Pro version, and I'm like, oh. And I thought it was a little weird that he's playing on the Pro version. We play people playing the game can just use the free version. I think you can run games on just the free version, but you don't get the dynamic lighting that he really likes, although he barely uses it correctly, in my opinion. And, I mean, maybe it's hard to use. I don't know. I haven't been the DM, right? And so, that dude hits so hard. I mean, I'm in alright armor, right? No. No, all my armor is broken. So, he said he's using the Pro. Well, I looked at what the Pro has in it. There's three levels, and the Pro's got like 3 curated assets that they give you every month. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, do you use the stuff you get from the Pro? And he's like, what? I'm like, well, it says you get like custom character sheets, which I know we're not using. And, I should take those. And, the API for tools and a free curated item every month. And he's like, oh yeah, I need to claim my item for this month. And I'm like, oh, what kind of stuff have you got? And he's like, well, I think they just started that. And I'm like, He's like, I'm using whichever one is the $4 or the $5 one. And I'm like, okay, so you're not using the Pro version then, you're using the Plus version. And he's like, yeah, whatever's the $5 one. I'm like, because the Pro version is $8 a month, and the Plus version is like $4 a month, $4.30 and $8.30. And he's like, yeah, the $4 one. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, for the dynamic lighting. I'm like, yeah, I see, it's got dynamic lighting. I was just thought it was weird that if he had the Pro version, that we had never used any of the assets that he got for free, because I would assume that on a platform like that, they'd be like one-shots and stuff, right? Tokens, that kind of thing. And so since we hadn't used any of that, I had some doubts that he was on the Pro version, like he said. Not that I'm calling him a liar. He was maybe unaware that there were 3 levels at this point. And, I looked up to see where that guy was at, and it looked like he was way behind me. So I thought he'd stop following me. He didn't, though. It's an unrelenting zombie. An unrelenting, frozen, kind of looks like my dad, zombie. Okay. Whew. Next thing that attacks me, I'm a dead man. So, but I should appear in a different place, yeah? Because I pulled up my bed. So, so I was looking into that, and then I haven't said what I want to do to them yet, but I want to go one of two ways. So I bought these. I get the Humble Choice monthly package, which is a set of video games every month from Humble Bundle, and because I love video games, and it seems like a great deal. And so I also purchased actual bundles that they put together. Humble Bundle's a charity organization. They get game keys, and then they package them together in themes, and then will have different levels of the package that you can buy. So you get different number of games or add-ons or stuff like that. And so it's not just games they do; they also do books, and so some of the books they get sometimes are D&D books. And so I've purchased some of the Humble book selections, so that just have other adventures that I can read through to get ideas from, or maybe magic items, or stuff like that. And so uh, so I've got one set in there called The Blight that I was looking at. It seemed like it could be interesting. It's got some adventures in it, but it's also like a campaign setting, so you can run your own campaigns through it. Um, and it's got some of its own creatures and magic items and classes and stuff. And so I was kind of looking at that one. It seemed like it could be an interesting thing. Um, I thought maybe like uh, I don't know if I want him to start in the world. I got the sense problem is that I've read a few different adventures trying to think of which one I wanted to do. And so I'm not sure if this is the one, but I know the Blight is the name for the city. And so like everything takes place in the city. And so the city is like layers on top of layers, and they've got like uh um cable cars and stuff like that in the city. Um, and But I was thinking that I had read somewhere in there that the city was like not attached and to a particular reality, and so it's like one of those things where um, people find themselves just suddenly in the blight for no reason. And so I was toying with the idea that they'd be hired to hunt down some missing children, and it's supposed to be a this is a term, a grimdark campaign, um, which is my kind of thing, I guess. I like the grimdark, and so I'd have them like chase after some children that had been kidnapped and crawl into like a tunnel, and then as they come out the other side of the tunnel, they would come out a sewer grate in the blight, and the tunnel would be gone, kind of thing. Um, so I was thinking maybe doing that and then getting them started in the campaign that's listed in the book, and or my other option was so once upon a time I used to run a D&D game with my family. I actually run a few different D&D games with my family. None of them stick with it though. Not that they don't want to play, they just don't see like I don't know, like it's hard to find people who have any kind of stamina, I guess. And um Like, they're fine if it's their thing, and then they expect you to do their thing every time, and it never seems like the thing I want to do ever gets to be the thing that we do. So it's not like, hey, every Saturday afternoon we play D&D, right? It used to be every Sunday afternoon we played D&D, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I can't do it today. I've got too much paperwork to do. Too much paperwork to do." That's what my sister says all the time. Too much paperwork to do. And then she sits around and plays on her phone for 6 straight hours. And then goes, "Ugh, I didn't get no paperwork done." I'm like, we could have been playing D&D. You know that, right? I know, but I got so much paperwork to do, and so yeah, it gets to be a little annoying. But so their campaign, oh dang it, stupid stamina. I gotta do something about my stamina. It's getting me dead too often. So in their campaign, um, I had all right, here we go. Yes, that was a genius step by me. It got me really close to my home. So now I just have to manage to get all the way. Well, let's get my bicycle, I guess. Because I think the bicycle is a little faster than walking, even if you're not stamina pedaling. So, in their campaign, my immediate family who lived here, because I also ran one for I ran a couple for, since nobody wanted to play, I tried to run one with my nephew and my two nephews and my brother-in-law. And my brother-in-law is oblivious to anything that's not what he's interested in. And so he's like talking to a ball of cotton sometimes. And so he basically just never logged in to take his or his son's turns. And so that game went away. And like I said, the Sunday game went away. And so there was no more D&D here. And so and then my brother and his family wanted to play. I swear, I put my bicycle in here. Those are bicycle handlebars. Where's my actual bicycle? Oh man, did you ruin my bicycle? Oh no. I think that's my bicycle. I'm not blind, right? You don't see a bicycle in here? Okay, well let's look. Oh no, it's here. Shouldn't be in that box. I was worried though because I thought that was my bicycle. So we ran this game, and so I hate the term adventurer, but I can't remember what I was calling them. So they joined the Adventurers Guild. I don't know why I hate the term adventure. It sounds too, I don't know, like it sounds too childish, I guess, for what is going on. Like, I'm going on an adventure, right? That's not what's happening. It's, undead are terrorizing people. We need you to go into the tomb and clear them out. That's not an adventure. So, mercenary, I think, is a better term, although I'm not sure that's exactly right. The fixers, they're fixers. I was toying with the term delver because they delve into tombs or into problems. And so, Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyways, so they joined the Adventurers Guild. I'm pretty sure I had a different name for it, but I don't remember what it was at this point. Hunters. I think I called them Hunters. They were the Hunters Guild. Uh, they don't hunt for food. They hunt problems down and eliminate them. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to look at my notes. But anyway, so they joined that, and they did a few low-level missions for that, and then as they were doing the low-level missions, this is getting into the campaign I want to pick. The Blight is one campaign I was looking at, and then the other is this one. So my immediate family, the ones I live with, they did this thing where they went and as they were doing these low-level missions, they kept getting hints of bigger events happening, and so I had made a pair of characters that I thought were fun that actually ended up staying with the group. Um, and and so in the process of creating the backstory for the one character, I created the big bad. And so the one character, she's a jeweler, and and so she was hired by uh, this guy to appraise artifacts, and so after she had appraised an artifact that they had found in nearby ruins, he attempted to kill her, and well, he told his guy to kill her, and the guy, jeez, the guy failed to kill her. Okay, listen. My gun was not empty that time, but now I'm bleeding to death. Oh shoot, it's nighttime too. Oh, your arm fell off? Get dead. Okay, I think my bike is right up here. And so he threw her the guard to get rid of the body because he didn't want her nearby family to know what had happened. Oh, come on. Just a couple more feet here. Yay. So the guard, or the henchman, threw her body in a hole in the ruins, and her body fell into a river, an underground river, and the underground river sucked her into the depths. And in the depths, she didn't die. She washed up on an island that belonged to an ancient deity. I don't even remember. I don't remember if the deity was like an ancient primordial spirit kind of deity thing, not like a fully formed concept like the other gods. So it was more of a life and death kind of thing, because she's a warlock. She's a great old one warlock. So I made up my own great old one. I mean, they're all made up great old ones, but and so that's what I had gone with for her. And then her brother, was felt as one of the tribal guards that he was responsible for what had happened to her, so he went hunting for her killer. Right. And so he's an arcane archer, and she's a great old one warlock. And so it's pretty fun. So that dude became my big bad for my campaign. And I thought it was pretty fun. I ordered minis and didn't tell them, and so painted these minis, and then I um, uh, introduced her with her uh, custom mini, and they'd made it to this city that was once ruled by, I don't remember what the family's name was at this point. I don't even remember what the vampire's name is at this point. But he's a free vampire, and so he has returned to his home city, which is in abandoned, haunted ruins, because dang it, these dang vultures, I tell ya. Because the man who caused it is still there, because he is obsessed with immortality. And so he's kind of like Dr. Frankenstein. Basically, I made Dr. Frankenstein. And so they had to fight their way in through a city that has magical defenses, and eventually they made it to. They met the vampire, and they had to decide whether or not the vampire was good or evil. And I still don't think they ever decided. But they managed to shut down the city defenses and get in and fight the Frankenstein doctor and his undead creations. Flesh golem. I made an undead flesh golem dragon thing that they fought, and so it was pretty fun, I thought. And so she was there because of her ties to life and death, and he was trying to get her powers. There's not a road out. Oh, there's a road. It says there's a road across the junk here. Go away. Great. Great. There's like so many horrible things happening here. What? Go away. I hate vultures. Dang it. They shouldn't be this fast. I mean, I guess technically they should, but I'm gonna die again. That's awful. That's awful. My motorcycle is now so far away. That's just... it's terrible. At least I guess I've got my bicycle on me. Yes, let's start with me being attacked. I get it. I've died so many times now. Yeah, I guess we'll take this dirt road. So, anyways, so they found her there being tortured, and that was kind of fun because they didn't know if she was good or bad, and she's strapped down, and they pulled her hood off, and then like her mouth is bound because warlocks are charisma based, and she's got some powers that allow her to control people. And so her mouth was gagged, but she also has telepathy, so she used telepathy to demand they release her. And so that was pretty fun anyways. And nothing to do with picking a campaign, just I missed those characters. And what does have to do with the campaign, though, is eventually they met with this guy who gave them a dagger, but she wasn't there when that happened. Or maybe they just got a message. I think that's what it was. They were given a job to deliver the dagger to the orcs, because what has happened is the bad guy who grew out of the backstory for that one character. Um, he's been exiled from his universe, and was stripped of all his power, so he lost his magic, and he's not from this universe. And I don't mean like planes, because there's different planes in D&D. He's from a completely different universe, and he can't get back. And he is scouring the world for powerful artifacts that he believes might let him go home. And so him with her was early on him trying to find an artifact that he had heard rumors of to go home. And so he uses lots of magic items and gives out magic items to his followers. I think there's a whole magic shard thing I introduced with the Frankenstein guy. I seem to remember somebody using a shard to turn themselves into a more powerful berserker mode version of themselves in there somewhere. And so, anyways, so that guy tricked them, and they almost died because the dagger was not to make peace with the orcs. It was a declaration of challenge for leadership of the orc tribes. And so they almost got pulled into a match I'm not sure they could have won, and I didn't really want them to. But they talked their way out of it, and so to earn the trust of the tribe, they had to go deal with some slavers. We made a little mistake. Everybody that week forgot about their special abilities, and so they just tried to straight up duke it out with their weapons, and so everybody died. And so instead of having everybody dead, so they all got captured because they're slavers. And so they wake up, they're in the castle, they don't have their stuff. But my warlock can summon her weapon, and so between her and the monk, who doesn't need a weapon, they managed to break free. And in the process of leaving that place, the monk ran into his sensei, who had also been captured. And so his sensei told him that he had to retrieve this magic artifact from their monastery. And so when they got there, they got the magic artifact. Well, the magic artifact is a god tier level artifact, but it doesn't do anything. It's a piece of something. And so when they pulled it out and opened the bag it was in, it immediately alerted the world that the artifact was in play again, because it's so powerful it had been, broken down into small pieces and scattered across the world. And so when they opened it, a portal opens, and out of the Feywild steps Queen Mab, the Winter Queen. And she likes the chaos, and she doesn't want the artifact for herself. She likes the idea of the chaos it's going to cause, but she realizes the people who have it aren't ready for it. So Queen Mab is one of my favorites. She's not totally sane, and so she kind of alternates back and forth between kill you now and let me help. And so in this instance, she was a little bit of both, and she encased the artifact, which is basically a socketed handle, and in ice, and a magic ice that won't melt and blocks the power emanating from the artifact, so no one can tell where it's at. And so that was the last time we played, and so from there, somewhere in there, I think my brother and his family, that's when they said they wanted to start playing. And so I debated dumping them into. Well, they were going to come over in person and play, and then they didn't. And so that's when we started the online thing that they finally stopped doing. But what I thought would be cool is if they played in the same world as that. And so I'm thinking maybe I'll just start back up my game from there, but with my Wednesday night group, and so they'll start in a different area than the immediate family's playing in, and they'll go for the okay. Stupid buzzards. And they'll go for the I think my bike is just starting to show up on there. Or is that just a line? Might just be a line. I think that's my bike though. Yeah, that's my bike next to the southwest there. And so my plan for that, if I ever have someone play it, if it's going to be this group, is they will meet with the guy. He will send them to retrieve the Gem of Fire, which holds. I don't know if it holds the God of Fire or just the avatar of the God of Fire, but it's super powerful, right? I mean, God tier level artifact here. And so when they open it to check to see if it is what he says he wants returned, because he will ask them to open it because he needs to know if it's the thing, and he also needs to know if it's powerful enough to do what he wants. So when they open it, it's not going to do anything to them, but it is going to alert the Lord of Flames, the Lord of the Fire Plane, that his God's gem is in play, and he will come for it. And so, I mean, that's as far as I've made it, is that then it becomes a game of the players running for their lives. Oh, look, it's a Shotgun Messiah. It's a Shotgun Messiah factory, though. And good job. Good job. Run right into some. Nope. All right. And so they will they'll be running through a city as like the Lord of Flames tears a hole open in reality, basically opening the plane between the planes gateway and releasing some fire giants and a giant red dragon, and a bunch of smaller fire creatures. I think there's some fire creatures that are small enough for level 1s to fight, and then they will have to flee as the capital city is basically destroyed, and becomes the habitat for an ancient red fire dragon, who is sending out minions looking for the fire gem that they happen to have in their possession. And I thought that might be fun to start with. I don't really do my campaigns ahead too much, so I've got a good start there, I think. And then I kind of like to make it up from week to week as we go. But yeah, so I was kind of debating between those two. They both seem like fun to me. And I don't know. I don't know if it's more fun to do one that's pre-written or do your own. I mean, even the pre-written ones kind of have to be your own because they don't cover everything that's going to happen. So I might just ask them which they would prefer to do, and see where we go from there. But hopefully we get to play this week because we didn't get to play last week. But, yep. Alright, this has gone on long enough, especially as late as it is now, because I've had to record twice. It is my fault. And, so yeah, with that, be better than small things, lean to the light. I will talk to you later.